a simulated training match between AI Advanced and AI Intermediate. We are seeing a Queen's Gambit declined.
The QGD is all about stability. White wants a space advantage, while black aims for a solid shell that's difficult to crack. Standard development. White is claiming the middle of the board, preparing to put pressure on the d5 point.
White develops the knight to c3, reinforcing the center.
By forcing the bishop back, black removes the immediate pin, but the bishop on h4 still maintains a long-term gaze toward the kingside.
Black plays h6, and the bishop retreats to h4.
A strategic trade. White gives up the bishop pair to clarify the central tension and gain a slight lead in development.
White decides to exchange the bishop on e7.
The heat map is perfectly balanced right now. Neither side has a clear territorial grip as they transition into the middle game.
White recovers the pawn on c4 and black castles.
White is anticipating the opening of the queenside. It's a prophylactic move, ensuring the rook is well placed before the pawns start moving.
The rook moves to c1, eyeing the c-file.
A bit passive, perhaps. Black is trying to shore up the defences, but it gives white more freedom to dictate the pace.
Black repositions the knight to d7.
Black is fighting for the long diagonal. If that bishop stays there, it becomes a powerful anchor for the entire position.
The bishop slides to d5, challenging the center.
That's a bold decision. It gains space, but it creates permanent weaknesses around the black king that white will surely probe.
Black pushes f5, expanding on the kingside.
The pawn structure is shifting. White is creating a path for the heavy pieces to infiltrate the queenside.
White takes on c5, opening the b-file.
A calculated strike to shatter white's kingside pawns. The board has returned to a balanced state, but the king's safety is now a concern for both.
Black sacrifices the bishop on f3.
Black is trying to capitalize on those doubled f-pawns. The knight on g6 is a springboard for a potential kingside assault.
The knight leaps to g6, preparing an attack.
This is uncomfortable for white. The queen on h3 creates immediate threats and ties down the white pieces to defense.
The queen penetrates deep into the position on h3.
An exchange sacrifice to remove a key defender. White believes the activity and the passed pawn are worth more than the material.
White plays rx d7, giving up the exchange.
Centralization is key here. This knight supports the advance of the c-pawn, which is becoming the most important piece on the board.
The knight returns to e5, anchoring the center.
Black is trying to simplify. By removing the attacking pieces, black hopes to neutralize white's initiative.
Black plays nxf3+, forcing a series of trades.
That pawn is a monster. It forces black to commit multiple pieces to the blockade, leaving the rest of the board vulnerable.
The pawn reaches c7, just one square from promotion.
Black is searching for counterplay. If they can create a weakness on the a-file, they might find a way back into the game.
The rook moves to b6, probing the queenside.
A massive shift in the game's nature. We've entered a rook endgame where the passed pawn and king activity will decide everything.
The queens are traded on c6.
Look at the heat map. It's split right down the middle. The red and blue are in a dead heat as black removes the immediate threat of promotion.
Black sacrifices a rook on c7 to eliminate the pawn.
Black is trying to create a diversion. By advancing the h-pawn, they force white to split their attention between two sides of the board.
Black pushes the h-pawn to h5.
In rook endings, activity is everything. Here, the rook on c4 aims to paralyze white's coordination.
The rook slides to c4, seeking activity.
The king becomes a fighting piece in the endgame. This move aims to intercept the a-pawn before it reaches the 7th rank.
The black king moves toward the center to e6.
It's a game of inches now. One wrong step by either king could lead to a sudden collapse.
The king stays active on e6, maintaining the opposition.
Perhaps too adventurous. While it attacks the rook, it leaves the h-pawn and the back rank undefended.
The black king ventures forward to c3.
The a-pawn is now the dominant feature of the position. Black is forced into a purely reactive role.
The black king retreats to b6.
The coordination has completely broken down for black. The king is essentially a spectator at this point.
The king drifts to c2, far from the action.
A desperate measure. The heat map is now a sea of red, and black is pinning their hopes on a stalemate or a miracle.
The rook moves to a8 to stop the pawn.
It's a slow-motion execution. Black is simply waiting for the inevitable promotion.
The white pawn continues its march, nearing the end of the board.